And the Bible tells us there are two things that are so described: the Torah, our heritage, our values, our ethics, and Israel. Israel has been given back to this generation to enhance, to make sure that it will be secure, it will be there for future generations. So I see this as a responsibility to my children and to my grandchildren and to their grandchildren, that we have to do all we can when Israel faces real dangers, that we stand up for it, and with the people of Israel who have paid such a heavy price, who have made the sacrifices. So little is asked of us. All we're asked to do is to care, to be part of it, to become part of the celebrations and part of the activities in support of Israel. So that is the first reason. The second is that I am the child of people who survived the Holocaust. I know what it meant for Jews not to have a homeland, what it meant for Jews not to have a place to go to, or an army that would be there to help protect them. We saw a world that was indifferent. Now, since Israel's creation, we have seen the homecoming of the Jews of Russia, the Jews of Syria, the Jews of Ethiopia, the Jews of Yemen, the Jews of Iran, the Jews of Iraq, most of whom had been written off to Jewish history. Many of whom, like the Jews of Syria, who lived at the edge of hell for 50 years. The Jews of Ethiopia, who didn't know other Jews existed for 2,000 years and lived the most torturous existence of any people on earth. The Jews of Yemen, who couldn't walk on a sidewalk for 1,500 years, have all come home because of the existence of a Jewish state, because there was an IDF and an IAF, Israel Air Force, that could fly them in, and because there were great allies like the United States to stand with them and to help make these miracles possible. We've seen the prophetic vision of the ingathering of the exiles. The difference from 70 years ago is not that the world has changed so much, but the existence of a Jewish state has changed all of us. That when the Jews of Russia were willing to stand up against a prison that spanned 2 continents, it was because of the existence of a Jewish state and the miracle of the Jewish state that permeated all of our lives. Part of the problem is that we take the miracles for granted. This is an opportunity for us to take stake and to show that we appreciate that we are the generation that was given Jerusalem back. You know, when every day a shovel goes into Jerusalem to build a foundation, to put in a light railway, it uncovers centuries of our past. And when people talk about antiques, they don't talk about things 200 years old or 300 years old. We talk about 2,000 and 3,000 years old. And even when they sought to desecrate the Temple Mount, when the Waqf gave the order to bring a bulldozer up in order to lay a small electrical cable, it opened up the vault that had been sealed for 2,000 years and gave incontrovertible proof of the existence of the temple. We see every day new discoveries, that God is sending us a message to remind us of our past in order for us to understand our responsibilities to the future. And for me, this is about our future. It's the future of Jews everywhere. It's the future of good people. It is why tens of millions of Christians, even Muslims, are willing to stand up for Israel, because they understand what it means for them and for their future as well.